very good afternoon. You're watching NewsX and I'm Shivani Singh. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has spoken to Bangladesh's new elected leader and BNP President Tarique Rahman. Prime Minister Modi took to X and wrote, I quote here, I conveyed my best wishes in support in his endeavour to fulfill the aspirations of the people of Bangladesh. As two close neighbours with deep-rooted historical and cultural ties, I reaffirmed India's continued commitment to the peace, progress and prosperity of both our peoples. Bangladesh Nationalist Party has won a landslide parliamentary election on Friday, returning to power after nearly 2 decades and positioning party leader Tarique Rahman to become Prime Minister as the country emerges from months of unrest and economic disruption. You have the tweets on your screen. That is Prime Minister Narendra Modi's social media post on X, and he has in fact stated that he was delighted to speak with Mr. Tarique Rahman. Let me in fact rope in my colleague Aditya Vadavan, who is with us on the broadcast for more on this. Aditya, we are now learning that there has been the first interaction after the elections between BNP Chairman Tarique Rahman, who will in fact is very likely to become the Prime Minister of Bangladesh going forward. He has spoken with our Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Well, definitely, Shivani. Indeed, this conversation between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the expected next Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Tarique Rahman, definitely, this will, make the ties between India and Bangladesh more robust in the times to come. Considering the fact, as mentioned earlier, also, somewhere down the line, the Bangladesh National Party, during the time when Khalida Zia was at the helm of affairs as far as the Bangladesh National Party is concerned, she had an anti-India approach, and she was pro-China from always, and now even the Bangladeshi National Party has, to a great extent, has a tilt towards China. But now, it will be very important to see how this Tarique Rahman strikes a balance when it comes to having relations with both India and China. So clearly,
all right, Aditya, I'll request you to please stay on with us. Also joining us on the broadcast is Ambassador Gauri Shankar Gupta, former diplomat. Thank you so much, sir, for talking to us. Ambassador, when you're looking at this development, we have the Prime Minister, speaking to Tarique Rahman. He is very likely to become the Prime Minister of Bangladesh going forward. A very good development in India-Bangladesh ties.
Yes, indeed, this is very good development. As we discussed earlier during the day, the victory of BNP is good for India. It is good for the secular forces. It is a rejection of all those, fundamentalist and radicalization in Bangladesh, which was done during the last 18 months of, the transitory government. So, as you would recall that last month when the External Affairs Minister had gone to Bangladesh during the funeral of Khalida Zia, at that time he had carried a letter for Tarique Rahman, and he met Tarique Rahman. He handed over a letter from the Prime Minister to Tarique Rahman, and now before the final results were out, the Prime Minister had already put up his congratulations on X, congratulating Tarique Rahman, and now has spoken to him personally. I think this is good for us. India and Bangladesh should repair the damage which has been done in the last 18 months, and we should become, in terms of friendly relations. And I remember that BNP is not a very, fundamentalist party. It is a party which wants to have good working relations with India, though obviously there would be some competition between India and China. That is natural, normal, but accepting that, BNP would like to have good relations with India. We have a long border over 4,000 kilometers with Bangladesh. The most of the border is porous. We have transit, places in many, transit facilities in many places. We have communication, we have power supply, we have very high, volume of trade, and we have a lot of, human transition from one place to another. A lot of Bangladeshis come to India for education, for health treatment, and we are providing them a lot of facilities. We are giving them training in our institutions. We are also providing a line of credit, huge line of credit to Bangladesh. So given our intense relations, both in terms of our territory and human beings, I think this is important. This is a good initiative from our Prime Minister, and I'm sure this will facilitate repairing the damage which was done during the last 18 months, and we would be able to normalize our relations and make them friendly in the coming months. I'm absolutely confident about it.